Christie, governor of New Jersey, has an important decision to make. Senator Frank Lautenberg passed away yesterday. He was a senator for a long time, since 1982 in New Jersey, about 30 years. Now, there was a brief couple of years that he was out of office, but then came back in. He passed away, and of course, his seat has to be filled. Now, Chris Christie gets to fill that seat. Now, he could have gone in a couple of different directions. He could have just put in a Republican, and he also could have done the election when they're coming up in November. Now, that would make a lot of sense. If you do an election at the same time as elections that were already going to happen, you do have no extra costs. So that's terrific. But he decided not to go in that direction. He decided to do a special election at a different time. So let me show you. On about August 14th, there is going to be a special primary election to fill the seat. Some say August 13th. And then October 16th, there's going to be a special general election. But just a couple of weeks later, there's already an election on November 4th. It's an election, interestingly enough, that Chris Christie would be in. It's a gubernatorial election, and other Republicans are also on the ballot. Now, by splitting the elections, Cory Booker, who is likely to run, not likely, almost certainly will run for Lautenberg's seat, a very popular Democrat, will not be on the same ballot as Chris Christie. Now, they're in two separate races, governor and senator, but a lot of African Americans would show up, a lot of Democrats would show up to vote for Cory Booker, and they would also likely vote for the Democratic nominee and against Chris Christie. He doesn't want any part of that. Now, look, Democrats are happy too. They're thinking, hey, you know what? Cory Booker might have had a harder time if a lot of Republicans showed up to vote for Chris Christie. He's a fairly popular governor of New Jersey. But you know what? There's a cost involved. Now, Chris Christie says, I don't know the price tag, and quite frankly, I don't care, because I know he's a big, tough talker. Well, don't worry, Chris, we found out what it is. It's $24 million to do the extra election that you don't need at all, that you could have just done a couple of weeks later and would have saved taxpayers $24 million. This is the same guy who's always talking about, oh, yeah, I'm fiscally responsible. Yeah, that's right, man. Oh, I crush all those, whatever it might be, the education program, welfare, whatever. Anything that goes to the middle class and the poor, he's such a tough guy about. But when it's his own fat ass on the line, all of a sudden Chris Christie's like, spend the money, I don't care. I don't care how much it is. Spend the $24 million. I don't want Cory Booker on the same ballot as me. No, it's all about me. Isn't it? Isn't it? All right, look, I am also an overweight New Jersey resident. Well, I'm a California resident now, but I grew up in New Jersey. So, hey, Christie, and I live in the same glass house, and I can call him anything I like, okay? And here's the guy who loves to push people around. All right, well, I'm coming for you. I'm going to push you around. So let's listen to his nonsense answers about why he did this election in this way.
I will not permit the insiders and a few party elites to determine who the nominee of the Republican Party and the Democratic Party will be. A primary election is necessary. The people must choose. The special election must honor the electoral process and the will and rights of the people to have a choice, a voice, and timely elections.
Oh, come on. Timely elections. Really? The difference between October 16th and November 4th of the same year? I got news for you. That isn't even a month. And it's going to cost them $24 million. Oh, you really need to have them get them those elections that timely. He says, no, I don't want the party elites making the decision. Except you're a party elite, you're the head of the New Jersey Republicans, and you made the decision to have the extra election that cost an extra $24 million to protect, once again, your own fat ass. And I don't care if the Democrats agree. And that's the problem with Democrats and Republicans in the first place. They always agree on screwing us. It's $24 million and it helps the Democrat, it helps the Republican. Oh, they'll do that in a flat second. The reality is they don't care about us, and this loudmouth doesn't care about us either. Here's another weak-ass excuse.
The right thing is to let the people decide, and let them decide as quickly as possible. And on August 13th, the parties will get the chance to nominate their candidates, and on October 16th, they'll get a chance to pick a senator, which means on October 17th, an elected person could take the oath of office and enter the United States Senate on behalf of the people of New Jersey for the remainder of Senator Lautenberg's term. I just think it's the right thing to do, and that's why I'm doing it.
Oh, go. Look, man, people got to be more aggressive in the media. Somebody had to step up in that press conference and say, Governor Christie, Do you really expect us to believe that you cared so much that the people have a representative for an extra 2 to 3 weeks, that you would spend $24 million to make that happen? No, this isn't about that. It's about you and your own political protection. You know what you're doing, Christie? You're lying. That's what you're doing. Now, of course, Christie would take great offense at that. He can push other people around, but when you call him out for an obvious lie, he was, oh, how dare you? I can't believe you. Well, believe it or not, Chris, I'm calling you out. You're absolutely lying, and you're wasting taxpayer money just so that you feel a little bit more protected in that cozy seat you got at the governor's mansion.